So I haven't done an Ask Rachel video in like forever, so I figured I would go ahead and do one. I forgot last time to check off which questions I had done before, so if some of these are repeats, I'm sorry. And if you want to send in questions of your own, you can email me at raychulmoore@gmail.com. Just make sure you put Ask Rachel in the subject line so it doesn't go to spam. The first email comes from Bread Fan, and he's got two questions. The first one is, what do you think of Dario Argento? Those of you who don't know, he's a super famous horror director. Is it really horror? It's more suspenseful and stuff, but old school. Like this was way back a long time ago. You know, actually the only one I've ever seen that I remember that I know I've seen, I might have seen some of his other stuff and not known that it was him, was Suspiria. I think if anybody's seen anything from Dario Argento, it's Suspiria. Which I really liked. It was super suspenseful, super creepy. I thought the pacing was really well done. It wasn't all jump scares, and now today's horror is just, the pacing is way too fast. They don't build any story, they don't build any suspense. It's just like, oh my god, bunches of teenagers being murdered. Which is great and all, but I do miss the slower paced horror or thriller movies from back in the, I guess you could say, is it 60s and 70s? Or is it just 70s? I don't know. But I feel like that's kind of like a problem with a lot of movies. Now, they've lost a lot of the pacing that made them so good. So, yeah, I got way off track. But I think Suspiria is the only Dario Argento film I've seen that I know of. His second question is, what is your favorite decade for horror films? Probably around the 70s. Again, I'm not really good with when things came out and what decade it was. But definitely classic Halloween, classic Friday the 13th. I do like some of the, I guess, newer generation horror films. Like I love Saw. I love all the Saw movies. The first one was still the best. And they did get ridiculous, you know, as they went on. But I liked how ridiculous they were. It was fun. But my favorites are definitely the old Jason and Michael Myers and Leatherface films. I'm not a Freddy fan at all. I will say the first Freddy was good, but he's too silly. Even if your bad guy talks, which I guess is fine, I don't want them to be funny. And Freddy had way too many one-liners to be scary. He's just, nah. I don't like Freddy stuff, but I like all the other guys. The next email comes from SS Sarah, who says, if you had to pick one video game universe to live in, what would it be? I always have different answers for this question for different reasons. I would love to live in Uncharted, just so I can go on really cool adventures with Nathan Drake and make sweet, sweet love to him. I would also love to live in DOA beach volleyball, because then it's the beach all the time. It's the summer, year round. You have some random guy you never have to see. He's setting you up in this super sweet, nice hotel that's got a casino downstairs, and you're hanging around with hot chicks in bikinis all day. That's the perfect life. So I'd love to live in that world. But yeah, I think those are my top two universes that I would totally love to live in. Next email comes from Brandon B, who's got several situations with questions tied to those. So the first one is, you've been contacted to star in a new video game using your likeness, starring you, plus you have a say in a lot of things like the creation of the game. So with that being said, which studio would be responsible for making this game? Definitely, oh man, at first I was gonna say BioWare, but nope, definitely Gearbox. If I'm gonna have a game, I've got to have Gearbox behind it, because Gearbox's humor is just my kind of humor. It's what I find funny. I love Gearbox games. I love the characters they can create. I love the worlds that they can create. I love the story and the script. Gearbox for sure. And then another part of that is, any particular producers, writers, programmers, or other form of talent would you like to see attached to the project? I'd love to have probably Amy Hennig tied to it, because she's just fucking amazing, and her creative vision behind things, obviously in Uncharted, is just above what most other companies can do. I'd love Nolan North to be a voice, Troy Baker, and the guy who does Handsome Jack, but I can't remember his name right now, sorry. But him, because all three of their voices in one video game would be amazing, because they're all really sexy. And of course, Jennifer Hale, because you can't have a video game without Jennifer Hale in it. She is amazing. She is so good at what she does, and I love when my characters in games are voiced by her. And then the last part of this question, what sort of game, genre, setting, etc. would you want it to be? I don't know. It's definitely gotta have guns in it, and lots of guns, because I do love to murder people in games. So if I'm going to be in a game, I'm definitely gonna be murdering some people. So that's that. Not a first-person shooter though, because if I'm going to be in a game, you're going to want to look at my butt, right? So first person, you can't look at my butt. So it's definitely got to be third person. And I don't know what else. I really wouldn't care. I would just leave it up to Gearbox and Amy Hennig and be like, hey, this is me. Let's make a badass video game. But a few things. Definitely fast travel. Definitely a lot of loot. And skill trees. That's all I would want. That's just really it. Guns with lots of cool, crazy, not normal skills. Guns that shoot out hearts, but then right when the hearts get to the person's face, they open up and there's teeth and then the hearts chew their face off. Something like that would be cool. But Yoshi needs to be in it too. She needs to have like little puppy superhero powers and stuff. She'd be the claptrap of the game. Yeah. Perfect. And then Brandon B's last scenario / question is, there's a lot of video games that have time travel and time manipulation in them. So if you have any time travel ability or device from any game for only 1 year, what would it be? I don't really want to go back in time, although it would be cool. Then you have to get into the whole conversation of going back in time and changing even the smallest thing that's going to have the ripple and it's going to change the future. And then what if I change something in the past, which then leads me to a different future that I don't even have the time travel device anymore because I changed something in the past, so in the future I wouldn't ever get the device. I mean, there's just too many just mind fuckery that happens when you start thinking about time travel. So I guess the only thing that I would have that I can't really see fucking up too much of the future or the past would be something that freezes time. That'd be cool. Because then I could freeze time, and if I was gonna like rob a bank to get lots of money, because let's face it, if you're gonna have any type of superpower, just super ability, you're going to want to rob a bank. Or do something like robbing a bank that gets you lots of money. I mean, that's the only really point of having any type of these type of abilities and powers. At least that's what I would do for sure. That'd be the first thing I would do. So I would freeze time, probably definitely fuck around with some people, like change their shirts and stuff so that they'd come back into their normal time. They'd be like, what the hell? I was wearing a blue shirt, now it's pink. I would do that. But then I could definitely, you know, rob a bank if I froze time because cameras wouldn't be able to see me. And there would be really no record of me being there because I would freeze it. Then walk around the corner to the bank, steal everything, and then walk around back to my house and be like, go. And it was like I never left my house. Brilliant. That's what I would want. Definitely freeze time. Because I would not want to be responsible for anything that I would go in the past and messed up. Because I know I would mess it up because I'm an expert at messing things up. Even when I mean well, I can mess something up like nobody else. I am the Ben Stiller of real life. Because if there's a 1 in a million chance that something, no matter how ridiculous it is, can go wrong, it's gonna happen to me. So I'm not going to the past. I'm just gonna freeze time. And I don't want to go in the future. That's just, there's too much knowledge to be learned from going in the future and then having to go back to current time and live with that type of knowledge. Nah, no thanks. Brian S. has 2 questions. He says, what is the worst thing someone can say to you? Worst thing that someone can say to me? I don't know. I'm a really hard person to offend. I usually just kind of laugh things off because, you know, being a cosplayer and making YouTube and just being a chick in general online, I have pretty much heard it all. And the things that people say to me are so ridiculous and just so dumb that it makes me laugh. It doesn't offend me. But I've also had people be really mean. I've had someone on Twitter that kept making different Twitter accounts and they were telling me how they were gonna rape me and they were gonna murder my dog in front of me and then they were gonna slit my throat and pee on my decapitated corpse and all this stuff, and it's like, whoa. And of course I reported it to Twitter because I was like, okay, this guy's getting out of hand, and Twitter was like, we can't do nothing. Thanks, Twitter assholes. So yeah, I've had people be mean. I've had people just be assholes. I've had people be actually really creepy, just, whoa dude, that's fucked up. But most of the time I just don't get offended easily, so... And then his second question is, would you ever want to challenge another YouTube gamer? If so, who? No way, because I am actually not that good at any type of player versus player games. I like my games co-op, or I like me versus AI. But anytime I have to play against another player, it just turns into me dying a whole lot and being embarrassed. So no, I don't want to challenge anybody. Maybe Mario Party, but not the new crap Mario Parties. Nothing past GameCube Mario Parties. So that was the last system Mario Parties were good. I would probably challenge some people to Mario Party because there I could actually kick their ass. Oh, and DDR. I challenge anyone to a DDR match. I will out stomp dance you any day of the fucking week. Give me a DDR arcade machine, not those shitty mats, and I will just completely destroy you. So yeah, I would actually maybe challenge someone to DDR. I don't know who though. Probably someone not very good at DDR would be my first choice. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys today. If you want to send in your questions, please do. I love hearing from you guys. My email address again is raychulmoore@gmail.com, and just make sure you put Ask Rachel in the subject line so it doesn't go to spam. And thank you guys so much for watching. I totally love you, and I'll talk to you soon.